My name's Lucas, and I work security for a small private office building on the outskirts of town. It's not much, 3 floors, mostly accounting firms and 1 insurance office. I usually work the overnight shift from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Boring work, sure, but it's quiet. And I get paid to walk around a couple times, check doors, monitor cameras, and stay awake. But 2 weeks ago, something happened that I still haven't been able to explain. And it started with a light. That night was like any other. I clocked in, got my flashlight, checked the logbook, and made my first round. The building was silent, just the hum of vending machines and the occasional creak from the old ventilation system. The 3rd floor was dark and quiet, the 2nd was locked up, and the 1st was mostly empty save for the janitor, Mark, who was finishing up. We exchanged nods, and he left around midnight. By 1:30 a.m., I was in the security office, reviewing camera feeds, sipping lukewarm coffee, when I noticed it. One of the basement lights had turned on. That was odd. The basement isn't accessible without a key card. It's mostly used for storage in the server room, and nobody had any scheduled access that night. I checked the log. No one had gone down there. But sure enough, camera 12 showed the corridor lit up. 1 flickering fluorescent casting pale light over the gray concrete. At first I thought maybe Mark had forgotten to turn it off. I radioed down just in case, but got nothing. Eventually, I decided to go check it myself. The elevator doesn't go to the basement without a special key, so I took the stairs. As I descended, the air grew noticeably colder, and there was this faint smell, like wet concrete and burnt plastic. I told myself it was just old wiring and mildew. When I reached the basement door, I paused. It was open. I distinctly remember locking it on my earlier rounds, and it's a heavy reinforced door with a deadbolt. My stomach twisted a little, but I told myself maybe Mark had a master key and forgot to relock it. I stepped inside. The corridor was quiet. The flickering light buzzed above me like an insect. My boots echoed sharply against the concrete as I moved toward the server room. Everything seemed normal, until I noticed something odd. The light wasn't coming from a ceiling fixture. It was coming from under the door of one of the supply rooms. A bright, unnatural blue glow, like a neon sign. I'd never seen it before. I approached slowly, the hair on my neck rising. As I got closer, I noticed something even more unsettling. The door was slightly ajar, and from inside, I could hear whispering. It was faint, almost like the sound of someone muttering just below hearing range, but layered, like multiple voices speaking all at once. I froze. My body wanted to turn around, but curiosity kept me rooted in place. I reached for my flashlight, took a deep breath, and nudged the door open. The light inside vanished instantly. No click, no flicker, just gone. The room was pitch black. The whispering stopped. I raised my flashlight, scanning the shelves of old binders and broken equipment. No sign of anything unusual. No source for the light. Nothing. I backed out, heart pounding, and locked the door. When I got back to the security office, I rewound the footage from the basement hallway. There it was, the light turning on, the door opening slightly, and then something else, a shape. For just a split second, as the door opened, the camera caught the edge of a figure, just enough to see that it was tall, hunched, and pale. But the moment I stepped into frame, it was gone. I sat there, stunned, until my next round was due. At 4:10 a.m., I checked the cameras again. The basement light was back on. But this time, so was the hallway leading to the first floor stairwell. And the door to the server room had been opened. I didn't go back down. I locked the security office door and waited out the rest of my shift, eyes glued to the monitors. At exactly 6:03 a.m., every light down there turned off all at once. When the day shift guy, Greg, came in at 7, I told him everything. He laughed it off at first, until I showed him the footage. We called the building manager. They reviewed everything, told us the basement motion sensors didn't record anything except me. The server room hadn't been accessed. The light? Probably a faulty breaker, they said. But I know what I saw. What I heard. I haven't worked a night shift since. The scariest part? Last night, Greg called me. He said the basement light turned on again. Only this time, the door to the security office opened on its own.